In today's video, I'm going to be going over the truth about love and relationships. Let's just jump right into it. Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Noah, back again with another YouTube video. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's video. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I help people awaken to their true abilities through wellness and spirituality, aka Noah's Ark. And in today's video, I'm going to be going over the truth about love and relationships. I do want to bring up a disclaimer. This disclaimer is pretty much for my truth about videos. And that disclaimer is that this is only my truth. You know what I mean? Meaning that if it resonates with you, that's cool. But if it doesn't, then that's also cool as well, This video isn't gonna be for everybody. This is only my truth. This is how I see it. You know what I mean? If you don't really agree with it, like I said before, that's fine. The world wouldn't be as unique and as beautiful as it is if everyone agreed with me, right? So I just wanted to put that out there for you guys if you are new to my channel and if you are new to this series. But I want to talk about love and relationships because I feel like relationships are very interesting, right? Because a lot of the times we like to feel like we are ready for a relationship, you know what I mean? But in reality, relationships take a lot of time. They take a lot of work, and that is why I think it's important to kind of understand where you are at currently in your life, you know what I mean? If you have goals, aspirations, and dreams that require a lot of attention, maybe it's okay to kind of reconsider being in a relationship, you know what I mean? Now that doesn't mean that you can't spend time with people, right? But it means that if you are in a relationship, or if you want to be in a relationship, maybe reconsider, take some time for yourself. I think it's important for us to kind of analyze where we are at in our career before we decide to make that decision, and I think that relationships are very time consuming, like I said, and if we're not ready to be in one, it can be a lot, for us. And I think that we need to collectively take time for ourselves. You know what I mean? Everybody has healing that we need to go through, in order for us to improve as a species, and once we are open and once we have made a lot of improvements in ourselves, I think that this is where relationships are the most healthiest, right? Because relationships help you grow, but you have to be at a place where you are willing to grow with that person, and if you're not in that place, then relationships aren't necessarily going to work out for you, right? And I also think that it's important to, set standards for yourself, right? You don't necessarily just want to date everybody, right? Humans, we crave love, we crave affection, we crave having someone to be on our side, right? And so because of this, sometimes we can tend to be a little bit needy, The ego likes to be needy because the ego is very much a control freak, it likes to control certain situations. But set standards for yourself, you know what I mean? Don't just go ahead and date everybody, right? You could do that, and it could be fun for you, right? But if you want a committed relationship, I think it's important to, set the bar for yourself, you know what I mean? You want someone in your life who is gonna encourage you, right? If you have dreams, goals, and aspirations, you want your partner to be able to encourage you into pursuing those dreams, goals, and aspirations. And, before we jump into relationships, I think it's important to kind of have a strong belief system, believing in yourself, right? Because the person who you should want to date is going to be someone who is always going to support you unconditionally, right? They're not going to have an opinion on what you want to do in your life, right? Because once they have an opinion, that means that they're there's an aspect of themselves, or there's an aspect of you that they want to control, right? And so a healthy relationship is, you know, setting standards, right? Having high expectations, right? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe that you can achieve anything that you want to in this life? Right? If you do, then you should want to find a partner who is going to encourage you to do the same, right? Who's going to have those same belief systems about themselves, right? Who's a very confident person, right? You don't want to be in a relationship with someone who is just going to date anybody, right? Because you wouldn't do that as well. Oftentimes, you know, we want to give love to somebody else, but we haven't given enough love to ourselves, right? And that's why I think it's important, if you want love in your life, you know, and you want a relationship in your life, then it starts with you. You know what I mean? You are going to have to be the one that loves yourself, you know, before someone is going to give you their love. You know what I mean? And like the famous RuPaul says, how are you going to love anybody else if you can't love yourself, right? And this is very true, right? Because you can't be in a relationship where both partners are very loving to each other if you don't love yourself. You know, you can't give love that you don't have for yourself, right? It all starts in here. It all starts within, you know, and you have to be able to love yourself before you end up being in a relationship that might hurt you in the long run because you're not ready for it, right? Whenever I was in my first relationship, you know, I didn't really I wanted to be in a relationship for the lustful aspect of it. You know, at first I didn't really want to be in it for the long run, you know, and throughout that relationship, you know what I mean, I eventually realized that I don't want a long-term relationship. You know, I had things that I wanted to do in my life that required me to be by myself, right? And I had to make that decision to end it because I needed time for myself and I needed to work on myself as well. You know what I mean? And so take that into consideration if you want to be in a relationship and you want to find love for yourself. You know, oftentimes we tend to put people on such a high pedestal, right? But this creates a needy energy, right? It creates an energy where it's like, we need to be with that person, right? A healthy relationship is when both partners don't necessarily expect things from each other, right? We don't expect people to be a certain way, right? But once we put people on a pedestal, right, we expect that they're going to be perfect. You know, we expect that they're going to be this idealistic version that we've made up in our head, right? But in reality, this person is just a human being like you. You know, like I always say in my videos, celebrities aren't that much different than you, right? The only difference between them and you is that they have a lot more followers, right? And so that is why it's important to, if you want to find love, to not put people on a pedestal. You know, we can appreciate someone and we can kind of be amazed at somebody's beauty, right, and their amazing qualities without putting them on a pedestal, right? And how do we do this? We acknowledge how beautiful we are, right? How perfect we are. And by acknowledging how amazing and how wonderful you are, you won't put people on a pedestal as much because you're able to realize that there's not that much of a difference between me and this person, right? And you'll start to understand that that person is just as amazing as you, or they can be, right? A lot of the times it's about awareness, right? It's about, okay, being aware of how amazing you are. This goes hand in hand with having self-love, right? You're gonna have to love yourself before you enter a loving relationship. And so if you are thinking about being in a relationship, you know, take these things that I've talked about into consideration, because I think it's important. You know, I think it's important for us to understand that relationships aren't as beautiful as people make it out to seem. Right? They require a lot of work, they require a lot of attention. You know, and if there's things that you want to do in your life, right? And if there's things that require a lot of your attention, you know, really think about if a relationship is necessary for you at this moment in your life, right? Because if we want love in our life and we love ourselves, right, that love is going to come to us naturally, right? We're going to find someone, somebody or people in our life who love us just the same, right? And we're going to find people who are going to nurture that affection that we crave, right? But it's about believing in ourselves, and it's about being patient and not being needy, right? Not being so desperate that you're going to date somebody who isn't necessarily for you. And so I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This was the truth about love and relationships. You know, let me know if you guys are enjoying the videos that I'm posting on this channel. You know, I've really appreciated each and every one of you who have supported. My YouTube channel has been doing really well recently, and so I really appreciate each and every one of you who have been liking, sharing, commenting on my videos. If you want to have any future video recommendations for your boy, feel free to let me know down in the comment section below, or you can send me a DM on Instagram. My Instagram is going to be @NoahIsArk. It should be right here. But with all that being said, my friends, have a wonderful afternoon, morning, or night wherever you're at. And peace, love, and happiness. Mwah.